Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into something really interesting. Why do these huge companies spend millions of dollars advertising, well, themselves, instead of just the stuff they actually sell?
I mean, you've seen this, right? It's everywhere. But it's not just random. These aren't just feel good gestures, they are super calculated business moves. They're designed to sell you on something way bigger than a single product. They're selling you on the company itself.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start by looking beyond the usual product ads. Then we'll get into the modern PR playbook, dive deep into the whole sponsorship game, talk about how companies try to sell their soul, and finally, we'll weigh the pros and cons of image versus actual revenue.
Okay, so to really get our heads around why a company would advertise itself, we first need to figure out where this whole strategy even fits in their master plan. And it all starts with something called the marketing mix. Now, take a look at this. When we think of promotion, we usually just think of ads, right? But what's so interesting here is that it's just one piece of the pie. You've got your regular ads, your sales team, and then there's this other crucial part, public relations. That's where all this image building stuff happens. The official name for this is institutional advertising. And the goal here isn't to make you run out and buy their new phone tomorrow. Nope. It's to make you feel good about the company as a whole. It's about building up this bank of goodwill and a positive reputation for the long haul. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. A promotional ad is all about, buy our new car, it's got great gas mileage. An institutional ad is more like, we're a company that's building a better future. See the difference? One's about a quick transaction. The other is about trying to build a relationship and a vibe around the brand. So how do they actually do this? Back in the day, PR was mostly about reacting to things, sending out a press release after something happened. But today, it's a totally proactive game. They've got a whole toolkit designed to get out ahead and shape how we think. This diagram really shows you the heart of that modern playbook. Instead of just playing defense, companies are now on offense. They're using things like event sponsorships and charity work to create positive stories and get people talking in a good way. And these are the big four, the heavy hitters in their toolkit. You've got sponsorships. We're going to get way more into that in a second. Then there's stunt marketing, basically creating a viral moment just to get press. You have strategic charity giving to make the company look good. And of course, product placement, where their stuff just magically appears in your favorite movies.
All right, let's zoom in on that first one, sponsorship. This is probably the one you see the most. And let me tell you, it is a massive, massive global industry.
So the definition right here is absolutely key. A company pays a fee in return for access to its commercial potential. This is not a gift, it's not charity, it's a business transaction, and they expect to get something back from it. And this is probably the biggest misunderstanding out there. When a company sponsors your city's marathon, it is not the same as them donating to a hospital. Philanthropy is a gift, sponsorship is a business deal. The company is literally buying access to the audience and all the positive feelings that come with that event. And if you had any doubt about how serious this business is, just look at this number. Almost $66 billion. That's what companies were expected to spend on sponsorships around the world in just 1 year. This is a core, fundamental part of marketing budgets now. Sponsorship isn't a one-size-fits-all thing either. It's got different levels. At the very top, you have a series sponsor. They get their name on an entire league, like NASCAR's Xfinity Series. A little step down, a title sponsor gets to own a big event, like the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. And it goes all the way down to a technical sponsor, who might just provide the medical supplies for a race in exchange for getting their name out there. So we've covered the what and the how, but now let's get to the really juicy part, the why. Why are these companies so obsessed with building their image? Let's check out a few real-world examples. Man, these examples are just so telling, aren't they? You've got an oil company like Gulf running environmental campaigns to kind of offset what they do. Or a former tobacco giant like ITC using charity donations from notebooks to build a totally new, wholesome image. And then a brand like Adidas connecting itself directly to a social cause. Every single one of these is about actively trying to control the story people tell about them. Of course, spending billions of dollars on something that doesn't immediately sell a product, well, that comes with some big risks and some big potential rewards. So what's the final trade-off here? Well, the upside is pretty clear. A great public image doesn't just attract customers, it can attract investors too.
It keeps the company name fresh in people's minds. And hey, being seen as a good guy can even get you some nice perks from the government. It's all about playing the long game. But, and this is a huge but, the downsides are real. This is a massive expense that doesn't put a single dollar directly into the cash register. And it is incredibly hard to measure if it's even working. Did sponsoring that stadium actually sell more checking accounts? It's almost impossible to prove, one way or another. So, from now on, when you see a company logo plastered all over a charity event, or you hear an ad that's all about their values instead of their prices, you'll know what's really going on. They're not just selling you a product, they're selling you an idea, they're selling you an image, a feeling. And the real question is, are you buying it?